Welcome back. Do remember you can find all our top stories on channelstv.com by going to youtube.com/channelsweb. Also log on to m.channelstv.com. You can watch us live on your mobile device. And don't forget, download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and the Channels 24 apps will give you access to news and updates. You'll also have access to the Eyewitness feature. With this, you can share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu. Follow the instructions you see. The Standard Organization of Nigeria has held a one-day sensitization workshop for electronic dealers in Niger State. It is aimed at sensitizing them to the effects of substandard cables and electronics on the Nigerian economy. The meeting is also in furtherance of the ease of doing business policy of the federal government.
According to the Standard Organization of Nigeria, substandard electronic products constitute over 50% of the total substandard products of the country. The organization is worried about the threats this poses to the national economy, as well as its danger to the environment and human lives.
Our able DJ will be leading us. Business rights.
At a one-day sensitization workshop organized for dealers of electrical and electronics in Niger State, the Standard Organization of Nigeria engaged the participants in examining the problem and how it can be solved. Addressing the gathering, the Director General of the SON, through the State Coordinator, Mr. Badewale Sunday, warned that the federal government's ease of doing business policy must not be taken as an invitation for recklessness by producers, as the SON will not tolerate manufacturing or importation of substandard products.
The elimination of substandard products is the responsibility of all. Penalties for non-compliance can result in confiscation, destruction of product, prosecution and/or imprisonment.
Stakeholders at the workshop also lent their voices to speak on the need to ensure compliance with the standard.
The Nigerian Customs Service is ready to partner with you and to give you all necessary assistance in the war against substandard electric and electronics into our country and our market.
Meanwhile, there were concerns by the electrical and electronics dealers that the SON needs to do more in tackling the problem of substandardization at the manufacturing or production stage rather than at the sales point.
I want to appeal to you to help us. Give us the names of the ones you know, because we have come into your office for some time. Help us give us the names of the cable you know that we can buy. Immediately after here, we contribute exercising our people so that they will buy the good one.
The State Coordinator of the SON, who responded to the concerns, reminded them that nobody will be spared in the fight against substandard products.
The Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has called on the federal government not to take the relative peace in the Niger Delta for granted, insisting that the call for restructuring remains valid. The governor believes that the South states should be allowed to have a say in the way their resources are being exploited. He was speaking at the meeting with hundreds of Ikwere ethnic nationalities who had come to endorse him for a second term in office.
Government should allow the people, should allow the true federalism to be, allow people to have a say in what they produce. Allow the people to participate. Here we're producing oil, but the headquarters of oil companies are where? Outside. And then they say there's no security here, but there's no security in taking oil. The only insecurity, they will always say, oh, they're kidnapping, no problem. Why are they not kidnapping those who are taking the oil? So they provide security for those who will come and take the oil. Why not provide the same security for the ordinary man and the woman?
Governor of Rivers State Nyesom Wike, government must do all it can to curb the brain drain in the medical sector. And that's the view of speakers at the annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of Association of Resident Doctors holding in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. The president of the association, Dr. Kolawole Ige, laments how health workers are moving out of the country for greener pastures to the detriment of the country's health care.
At this point in time in our national development, well-being and continuous existence. Now, the rate at which healthcare professionals, especially doctors, are jetting out of this country permanently in search of greener pasture is quite alarming. This, if allowed to continue, we believe will have deleterious effect on the health of this nation. And because of this, as stakeholders in healthcare delivery in Nigeria, we therefore need to make concrete and concerted efforts to repress this menace, as it has great potentials to further jeopardize quality healthcare delivery in Nigeria.
I am a proponent of don't go on strike, but at times when it gets a bit too far, one strike okay, but total strike never. You can never, if you pay your money, you can never go back and recover the lives that were lost in that period. That's just a simple argument. Some of us that die hard, we must stay. If you go, you will still come back to your country, or forever. If you don't come back, we don't lose you. But if you want to come back, then you stay there. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Do your best to stay. If you don't stay, we can't fix it.
The United States Consulate General in Nigeria has assured that the American government will continue to invest in cultural exchange of and ICT programs with the country. The Chief Cultural Officer, Kelvin Parf, also gave assurance at the second phase of U.S. government exchange ICT training program tagged Code Osun. It was held at the Seventh-day Adventist School in Ede, Osun State. Under the Code Osun program, 30 students were selected from 6 schools across the state to be educated in the use of computer programming for free. The coordinator of the program in Nigeria, Femi Adefila, also explains the essence of the ICT training. He says it is to ensure that students in public schools are in line with global demands in business and official jobs.
This was a program for students, high school age students, learning how to code for 6 weeks and then go back to their own communities and teach others, their peers, their families and community members how to code as well. These students started out with a set of skills that was not as computer literate as it is now. They can make applications, they can find potential employment, they can build on a base of coding that they learned in this program to find something more in the future.
We see computer as the future, and apart from that, we also see that opportunity to promote the virtues of social inclusion, self-confidence, self-esteem, integrity, patriotism. We mentor these students because we see them as the hope for tomorrow. If the generation, we are complaining that we have mixed up our chances as a people, as a nation, let's invest wisely in tomorrow. The exercise is training the trainers. They are our ambassadors in their respective schools. They will in turn go back and train their fellow students. The first 20 students that we trained, I've trained about 20 students after that. And you will be amazed the kind of computer programming and coding and computer language that they are writing now. They are doing quite well.
Well, an order has been given by the Department of Petroleum Resources on fuel supply in Nigeria. We'll tell you more when we return. Stay with us.